What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, and sorry for the echo, but I've just moved out of my apartment. This is where we were for 2 years, so you guys were with me for 2 years. This apartment, it's pretty dope, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of trying to tone it down. I'm becoming more of a minimalist because I plan to do a lot more traveling. I know somebody mentioned I was in Switzerland. No, I'm not in Switzerland yet, but maybe soon, so I will let you know when we can have some lunch. But other than that, let's talk about ranking on page 1 of Amazon. That's the focus of this video right now. And what we're gonna talk about is some of the most common questions that I saw from you guys and girls that are extremely important for me to answer and clarify so that you get the best out of the tactic, which is currently working. Now, I like to relate to the Amazon algorithm aging in dog years. So I predicted in the next 3 to 6 months, this tactic will no longer work. However, it works very effectively right now, and those that use it will rake in loads and loads of cash. So on this video, I will answer those questions and give you guys some more insight as to the tactic. And then the next time around, I will show you how I plan to build my own survey, and I'll kind of show you some of the results that I've had in the future. But let's go ahead and jump straight into those questions, and let's go ahead and do this. All right, so I'm on my screen share, and let's tackle some of these questions. Again, I apologize for the echo. I just moved in to a brand new place, so that's why it's a mess. That's why the video and the content haven't been coming out on point. Hell, it's a pain in the ass to move. I think all of you all out there that have moved once in your life know this, and that's probably most of you, I hope. All right, so let's hit these questions because I feel that there's a lot of them that potentially could cause many of us to make some mistakes. So let's go to hit the nail on the head and talk about ranking number 1 on Amazon, since this is a topic that you guys feel very strongly about. Now, I wanted to say this much. I have talked to the professor of Amazon, who is the foremost leading expert on ranking on page 1 of Amazon, and he agreed to come on live bi-weekly. So if you like the idea of having a guy who has his ear to the pulse of everything going on ranking on Amazon, talks to all the high-level sellers, including 9-figure per year sellers, post below and let me know that you would enjoy that. And then every single other week, we will cover a topic about how to rank number 1 on Amazon. And this applies to all of Amazon. It applies to merch, it applies to KDP, and it applies to FBA. So it's extremely powerful information that he gets, and he learns every single day. So let's go and tackle these questions. But again, let me know below if you'd like that to happen, and I will make it happen. Okay, so Mark asks a very good question, which is, instead of hiring people, is it possible to get a group of Amazon KDP sellers to do the same for each other's books? The answer to that is probably not, and let me tell you why. That's because once Amazon realizes there's a pattern and it's these same old people doing the same thing for each other's books, then it's going to lower their buyer trust score. And if you recall from the video, buyer trust score is one of the most critical elements in this whole puzzle. And that is, you have to get a good pool of quality buyers that really rarely do this. They're doing other things. Amazon's algorithm is looking at other things, like it can see their Facebook profile. They share information with Facebook. They share information with potentially other providers, but we know for a fact that they are sharing information with Facebook. So it can see that if you guys are friends or you guys are in similar groups, it will know this and it will eventually penalize those buyer trust scores. So then you creating this action with those profiles to each other's books is harming your books and your business in the long run. And that's why it's critical you use a fresh pool of people like on Mechanical Turks and micro workers, because there's constantly new people signing up for those services to do these things. And the thing is that they're not always doing surveys on Amazon. Majority of the time, they're doing other little stupid tasks for other people. So there is a very small pool of Amazon sellers that are doing this at the very present time on Mechanical Turks and micro workers. So again, do not use a group of KD people, because that is what will eventually happen. If you do it once, that might work. But again, be wary if they've done it with other people, and that kind of sounds dirty. So it's kind of like spreading STDs. You don't want to do it with those people that might have been in bed with a bunch of other people and are very promiscuous sluts. You want to make sure you get very clean people. And in this day and age, it is a very difficult thing to do. All right, so let's see what else there was on here that I wanted to cover. The other question that I saw here is, what do you think of using a Mechanical Turk for books? Absolutely, you can do this for books, you can do this for t-shirts, and most importantly, most people are doing it for FBA products, because again, FBA sellers are some of the most advanced and smart sellers in the world, specifically if they attend high-level masterminds and they're all sharing this information. Whereas book sellers and merch sellers aren't really in on this unless they do have an FBA business, and if they do have a thriving FBA business, it's a very small chance that they've actually even known about this because they're not focused on the FBA, they're focused on t-shirts, and we all know that FBA can make you millions and millions of dollars, even 9 figures per year. So let's go ahead and keep going down. Here's another one. Would it make a difference if you had them add your product to cart or even a wish list? Yes, it does. So if you recall from the video, I showed you the 60 or the 59.53% piece of the pie that is most important on all of Amazon for ranking. So 59% of the ranking Amazon algorithm revolves around what it was called add to cart over existing add to cart. And if I didn't explain it clearly, let me just kind of cover that very quickly. And that is pretty much just making sure that you have more add to carts than the competitors that you are trying to beat. And by doing this, as long as you are already generating sales and you're already generating traffic from, say, PPC or organically, and you want just that little extra boost to pick this book up, this will do it for you. Now, you don't want to do this on brand spanking new books with no traffic whatsoever, as it will not work, because then Amazon's going to think it's suspicious because none of these people are going to buy your book. So you do want to have a mix of sales in there. You just don't want it to be flat out just traffic. In the past, flat out traffic 100% worked, but now you are going to need some sales just to show Amazon that at least some people are buying it. But add to cart over existing add to cart is 59% of the algorithm. So as long as you have that, and then you have some purchases that you're generating either organically or with PPC, then this will 100% work. So again, don't do it on brand new books unless you're already generating sales via PPC. And then Leanna asked, does it hurt in any way that they're just looking and clicking but not buying? Again, as long as you are getting sales in some other way, shape, or form, it will not hurt. Conversion is a huge myth, particularly on books that are already driving and generating sales. Now, if it's a book that used to do well and you're sending this traffic, it could work, but you're still going to have to generate some sales via PPC, or you can give it away, or you can even have friends and family just come on there and buy it. And then you reimburse it however you want. All right, let's see. There was one other one, and I just wanted to point out what Mr. Dailywell says, that he does do external PPC, and it just holds power for a few months, but then it kind of like dips down. This will help it dip back up. So if you're running any type of traffic that is somewhat converting, again, it's critical to do this because it will help you and give you that extra boost. And again, this question, does it work for books or also private label products? Can do it on any of the 3 that I talked about: merch, t-shirts, private label products, and or books. And again, Jenny says, there's a chance this method could make it look like you have a low conversion rate and damage your chances. Again, I cannot stress enough that conversion rate is a huge myth. It's been out there forever and ever, people saying, oh, conversion matters, conversion matters. No, it does not matter. And I'll tell you that much. I know this from firsthand experience with my products, but also, again, I get to speak with 9-figure-a-year sellers and the professor of Amazon, who have all proved that conversion is a huge myth. Again, as long as you are generating sales, you're good. Doesn't matter what your conversion rate is. The only thing that conversion rate matters for is your bottom line, or how much money you put in your pocket, which is fantastic, because by doing this method, you're going to drive your organic sales and you'll get more of them in the long run. And so Raul asks a very good question. Should we ask them to just do add to cart or existing add to cart, or they have to spend some time on our listing? You do have to get them to do other things, and I talked about a couple examples in the video. Have them look at 3 or 4 images, ask them a question about a certain number word in the bullets, and that's what they're filling in the survey. So just have them do a couple of actions where you know that they were on your listing. Perhaps make them look at the reviews and tell them please write out the most recent 1-star review. Do anything like that where it makes them take some time on their listing, and they have to take elements out of the listing, which proves they were on the listing, and it proves that they spent a certain amount of time on the listing. And then again, as I mentioned, another hack is you could get them to start off by looking at your very top competitors or the person whose listing you are trying to overtake. Have them spend maybe 5-10 seconds on there, and then go to yours, and then do all those certain things that you want them to do, like look at the images, check reviews, tell them what a certain image looks like, or anything like that. That's kind of silly. You don't want to make them do that, but ask them what the second bullet has, or what the last word in the second bullet is. And now Monica asks, does this work in incognito searches? You don't want to just do this yourself again, Monica, because Amazon's algorithm will pick up on the pattern that it's just you. So you want people that are from different sources that Amazon potentially have never been on Amazon, or potentially have or don't really shop that much on there. And you will find these people on Mechanical Turks and micro workers. Now, also keep in mind, you do want USA traffic only. You don't want other countries. Other countries will be vastly cheaper. However, again, the buyer trust score with other countries, there are a lot of micro workers that do not have Amazon accounts and are in other countries, and Amazon will not give them as much credit. Their buyer trust score will be a lot lower. So you want to do it with USA traffic only. And that's pretty much a wrap. I think I've covered it in detail. And again, listen to this video again, rewatch video 1, and you have all that you need to know in order to execute this strategy. Now, I will be doing this in the future. It's just going to take me some time to get settled into my house and then create the survey and then run this. So I will keep you guys updated on how this tactic is working. And remember, sometimes when these tactic comes out, they work for a very short period of time. I do expect this to be working for the next 3 to 6 months, but sometimes in the Amazon world, if you snooze, you lose. And right now, this is working like fire. So I highly recommend it. And as usual, if you have questions or comments to this update video, I always personally answer them, and I'll see you next time.